Hello and welcome to episode 88 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I am Jeffrey.
I'm Brian.
We're two guys drinking beer, talking what's going on. We got Ray and Claire, the dirty tranny, with us tonight.
Hello.
Hey.
We're gonna talk about some stupid stuff and see how much trouble we can get into by saying stupid things.
Oh yeah.
I might have got us kicked off of doing Facebook Live through our group. I'm not sure. I might just be stupid too. It's entirely possible. It's all user error. But it definitely said we were temporarily blocked from doing that. Oops. Oh,
How did we get kicked off of Facebook though? That's just my question. It's funny.
probably the Victoria's Secret model.
My forehead bumping dolphins joke did it. I get it.
Oh no, there was so many terrible things said, and I actually didn't even put it on YouTube or Rumble because I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get a strike at YouTube no matter what. We're getting comments already about screwing this up. Oh well.
Oh, we're getting comments?
Yeah, on the thing where I said I'm gonna see if we can't go if we're allowed to live broadcast. So apparently you guys in Norfolk area there. There's something going on with this arena people want to build.
Yeah, I guess it's like a couple. One of the what's his face name? I tried to pull up my email, but my email doesn't come up. Pharrell Williams wanna build something going on in here. Football, bring a team up here, and the ex-football player, I forgot his name. And then somebody else. There's 3 plants on it. Altogether, what to do with the military highway Olmo, and so we'll see. I haven't keep up with that at all. I just I hear about it, but not my interest. Which I kind of don't wanna a team in here because whether we win or lose, they're always gonna riot. So I just don't want this place to turn into another Detroit.
You look like a lawn gnome.
I was gonna say I can't concentrate on what he's saying because of his hood. It's so pointy.
Why? Because of Mexican? Mexican cut grass below on the lawnmower?
Yes. I think we lost Brian.
Yeah.
We did.
Hold on,
No one
probably
to keep us on topic. Oh.
No, that's not. This isn't gonna be good.
No, it's not gonna be good.
Oh, jeez. Well, over up here in the Boston area, we today had a truck go off the road, right a couple miles. Well, I say a couple miles, but 20 minutes north of me into the Charles River.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that must have sucked. And it was a mail tractor trailer full of mail.
A tractor trailer full of what?
Mail. Like USPS.
Oh, mail. I thought you said mail.
Yeah, not male prostitutes, just
Yeah. Okay.
like packages and everything.
Truck full of
What kind of
gigolos.
packages?
All right, do you guys want to get right into this battle crap, or you want to go through this Canada and disease thing?
I called it on the battle thing. Ukraine's putting up a hell of a fight. Good for them.
Oh yeah, but they can only hold out so long.
Oh yeah, but I mean, they're going to switch gears from once they lose, they're going to switch gears into resisting, which is going to cause a lot of headaches for Russia.
Well, they don't have a mountain range that they can hide in. There's some forest, but it's the middle of the winter. It's not exactly dense forest that's going to give you good cover,
Yeah, this is true.
And you're not living out there in 0-degree weather either without some kind of structure, and that would give away your location anyway. Like Vietnam, they could hide in the jungle. You know what I mean?
Welcome back.
This is country living here. No internet.
I don't understand how you don't have internet. There's no way the internet tubes don't go to that house.
I I can give you the address. You can look it up on Google Earth. It's gravel roads all around this house. We are in the country.
Still, like Afghanistan has internet.
Well, we have LTE is as fast as it gets on my cellular connection at this house.
At least you're not dialing up, I guess.
The next door neighbor has HughesNet, and that's almost as fast as my LTE connection.
You know, it's not, geez, not even 4G.
No.
So isn't that? Oh, never mind. All right.
I was gonna make a joke about Afghanistan, but we brushed right on past that topic.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Let's go jump right to this war thing, and then we can double back. We could circle back on the disgusting diseases encircling the globe.
Which wait, where's the email at? Like 88?
What email?
88. We're 88. Show 88.
Yeah.
I don't even see it. The email.
Ooh.
Because we adopted the Tuesday show to this one.
Oh
There
no.
was no
Yeah.
recent email.
Okay, so Tuesday show.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, I can just send you the link. It's easy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mistake, dude. I do want to go over the prices of the metals. I actually skipped those, but before I do, Brian, you want to shout out our email address? Jesus, trying to
It's
do
the
two.
Jeffrey and Brian show at gmail.com.
All right. All right. The metals have moved a little bit, but not much in the last 24 hours anyway. Gold is up 1896.83. That's up $2.67 an ounce. Silver is up 24.37. I'm sorry, it's up to 24.37. That's 20 cents an ounce. Platinum is at 1072.30. That's up $4.50. And palladium is down to 23.99.00. That's down $10.75. Interesting to see palladium take a spill when everything else went up a little bit.
Yeah, but precious metals during high inflation are going to rise. So if you have money, I'm not gonna make financial investment advice.
That's
Never
where you
mind.
put it, though.
That's where I would put it personally. I would go out and buy Bitcoin and precious metals right now.
It's actually exactly what I did the day I heard about the invasion. And then I watched my Bitcoin take a giant dump like 3 days later.
Yeah, it ain't going up right now. So actually, as long as you're not trying to cash out, now's the time to be buying.
I'm going to keep
Buy
buying it
when
all
it's
the way
low.
down. Yeah, I'm going to buy it all the way down and buy more each time because it's cheaper and cheaper. Because I genuinely
gonna
think Bitcoin
rebound.
is coming out of this on the other side. Maybe some of these other ones like Dogecoin might be fun to get into because they're so cheap. You know, you can buy a
Yeah,
couple.
my brother's big in the Dogecoin.
Stuff makes me nervous.
I got a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of
Ethereum, yeah.
Yeah, Ethereum, yeah.
I got like $50 or something in Dogecoin. I think it's like 850 Dogecoin. But that's cool because if there's like a 5-cent swing on 850 of them, that's
Not a big
significant.
deal.
Well, I mean, it's not a
Not
big deal,
gonna
but
hurt
it's still
you.
a significant gain. And if it's a downswing, you just hang on to it and say, I only put $50 in to start.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I started with all this trading. Though I dipped my toe in and figured out what was going on, then started adding more and more money here and there,
Yeah,
which I get the feeling is what most people do when they get into this kind of stuff.
definitely.
But yeah, I bought a bunch of silver, a little bit of gold, and a bunch of different cryptos right away. And then the next thing I thought was, I need to buy ammo. Like silver and digital currency is great, but you know what's even more effective? Shotgun rounds.
I like shotguns.
Shotguns are nasty. And people don't realize how versatile they really are.
Oh yeah.
All the different rounds you can put in those things. All right. Brian,
Where
is
do we
this
want to go next?
well, is this Biden ego thing yours?
Biden ego.
Biden has a great deal of ego in his foreign policy ability.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah,
Why
I
am
read
I not surprised?
what
Yeah,
a couple times.
he got cornered by a reporter that asked him, why so much shit was falling apart, and he got really defensive with it.
Well,
Because Biden thinks that, because he's been in politics for 40 years, that he's the cat's meow when it comes to dealing with everything.
they did such a
Biden-
good job with the Crimean Peninsula.
Yeah, Biden getting defensive. Oh, say it isn't so.
It's kind of funny because he's pretty much an idiot. I don't even know how much he's really in charge and how much his advisors are in charge. I think it's more of the advisors than it is him. I think he's more of a figurehead than anything else.
Yeah, well, probably yes.
I do not
But-
think he's competent whatsoever.
So who do you think is actually doing this then? Miley?
Who?
Miley?
Is that his chief of staff?
The
he
woke
was
general.
Yeah, he was the general there that
White
wanted more
rage.
DEI training and stuff instead of like combat training.
I
I
honestly
think
think
it's whoever. I really think it's probably his chief of staff is pretty much pulling the strings.
I think it's Kamala Harris, honestly. The Democrats wanted her in office so badly that they made her vice president to an incompetent person that probably craps her pants. I mean,
I just don't know what's going on, man. It's just I hear a lot of people saying stuff like, "Oh, it's a good thing Trump's not in charge. This would be so much worse." It's like,
This wouldn't be happening if Trump was in charge. Putin would have never invaded Ukraine if Trump was in charge.
and how do we know this?
Because
Trump
Trump
is-
would have committed U.S. troops to Ukraine, and Putin would be scared as shit about that. I mean,
No, we know-
as it is, Ukraine is not rolling over like Russia thought they were going to roll over.
Well, we know that it wouldn't happen under Trump because of the last 4 presidents, he's the only one that Putin hasn't made a move into Crimea with.
Trump is like an insane football fan. And you don't talk shit about that football fan's team around them. Trump's kind of like that. You don't talk shit with Trump around. You don't slide him in any way because you know he's going to do something stupid.
Maybe, but I like to think of him more as the button masher video game player. Like when you're playing like one of them fighting games like Mortal Kombat and they just smash the controller.
Yeah.
They're so unpredictable that you can't possibly come up with a
Predict
tactic.
it.
Yeah, to come up. So like he said to Putin, if you go into Ukraine, we'll bomb Moscow.
Yeah.
And Putin laughed at him, but he's like, that crazy bastard might do it. He might just start smashing buttons going, did I launch a nuke? we need bombs. Huge bombs.
It was the best bomb ever.
Best bomb. So many people dead. So many.
If you want proof of
Flashlight.
that, remember the
Melted glass.
Iranian general that he shot down, like almost like 2 years into his office,
Yeah, they blew the crap out of him.
and all the
crazy.
news stations trying to defend the general, like, oh, how can you do that to him? Like
Trump
like,
dropped the largest conventional ordnance bomb in the history of the world on a mountain.
Yeah.
If this dude says he's gonna blow shit up, he
He's
might.
probably going to do it.
He might. Like he blew up a mountain.
Yeah.
Who does that? Guy might do it. It's like, you know what? We'll just wait. There's no way the American people will keep him in office. We'll just wait for dumbass to get in office, and we'll just push him over just like we did Obama and Bush.
I can
And it's
imagine Trump dropping that bomb going, "Oh, pretty."
Oh, it feels so good. Yeah, but he said something like, we'll bomb Moscow, and you see all those beautiful golden turrets destroyed everywhere. And I'm like, those are churches, right? It's like, you're specifically talking about bombing like the churches in the city. It's like, this crazy bastard might do it. Yeah, now apparently, I don't care about this. President's Day thing. I put it in the wrong place and I lost my flow. But this makes a good point, actually. Actually, no, that's what I was going to do. Biden's foreign policy sucks, and he's been called out, and he's been whiny and bitchy about it. Now, the same network had one of their anchors complaining about a meme for President's Day by the Republican Party, but it was, like a whole bunch of good presidents they liked. And obviously none of them were Democrats, right? Well,
Right.
that's not true. The one in the center said, "Not you," with a picture of Joe Biden in it. And the Democrats called them racist for not having the only black president in there. Like, this was clearly to make a joke at the Democrats' expense and say the Republicans are good presidents. Like, come on.
Right.
At a certain point, people have to stop using the term racist,
It's lost all meaning, because I mean, if somebody calls me racist now, it's just like, okay, and
Yeah, who's not? Well, shoot. That's what happened in Virginia in Loudoun County. That's not exactly a right-wing area,
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's up in the Northern Virginia. It's a DC suburb, and it's blue.
And that's what happened to Virginia when their entire government flipped, was because these people were saying stuff like, "My child got butt raped in the bathroom. What are you gonna do about it?" And they said, "You transphobe." And then they drug the guy out in handcuffs, and that's how they got the stuff passed to classify these people as terrorists, the parents as terrorists.
I honestly wish I was in Virginia, because I would have gone to those PTA meetings and had parents pay me to say what they want to say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, oh geez, it was like the left voters, the Democrat voters, they were calling them the racists and the phobes. And they're like, well, wait a minute, you can't just call everyone that. It's like, oh, that's what all these other people meant.
Mhm.
Oh, I was the baddie. Even Bloomberg sees this stuff. I'm not a Michael Bloomberg fan, but
He's warning. I'm not either, but even he's starting to see the writing on the wall that either the Democrats change course or they're going to get wiped out in 2022.
I agree. I think what has Biden done well?
Nothing. Oh, COVID. He cured COVID.
No, he unified the Republican Party.
That he did. He united the people against him.
Yeah.
I think that's probably his only good thing at this point, is he's united a bunch of people, including Democrats, against him.
Yeah.
It's now we have something to agree upon.
True, and I think he was
that's
hoping-
typical when there's an opposition president in place, though, is that they unite the other party most of the time.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
polls are coming out
Trump
that-
did it for the most part. He united the Democrats against him.
Well, I mean, there's a majority of Democrats who well, not the majority, but a significant portion of the Democrats are even saying that Biden is not a good president. So I'm saying he's uniting people against him.
Oh, okay. He's
left
not
and
just
right.
not okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's healing this country by making us all hate him.
Yeah. I mean, he got a lot of independent vote, and when you look at the polls, the independents will not vote for him for re-election.
Correct. So what, they're gonna put Harris up there?
No, they won't. Harris-
She's less popular.
We're going Hillary.
You really think they're
Hillary,
gonna try to put Hillary up
2024.
there?
Who else they got?
I don't know. This would be our third time.
Yep. Third time will not be the charm.
I don't know, man. I'd be more. I think Michelle Obama would get more votes than Hillary Clinton.
I think she
agree.
will too, but I don't think she'll run.
Now, she likes the cushy lifestyle she's got right now with her mansion on Martha's Vineyard and her mansion in Hawaii,
And her
Yeah.
cod piece.
bouncing back and forth between the two far areas.
I like how
Michelle-
Brian made a great joke there, and he didn't even realize it.
I'm staying out of it.
Michelle Obama, at least we could say she was a great America's first husband.
Yes. Which is
Now we
funny
got a
though.
second
'cause-
husband.
And yeah, okay. even with Bloomberg saying that Democrats need to do something,
Nothing's
all-
gonna change.
no, but all the crap that they thought they had Trump on in New York when they brought up all them civil charges and everything,
Mhm.
they've had like 3 prosecutors or whatever quit, and they can't seem to build a case at all. So this is fizzling out as, right after Afghanistan happened, and now we're supposed to trust this same guy to deal with Ukraine after they accused Trump of a whole bunch of stuff that they haven't proven any of and actually disproven a lot of. Ought to be interesting coming up here at midterms.
Why they drop out? The prosecutor. We find out
They
why.
just resigned from office. They decided they wanted to pursue greener pastures. Probably
Sounds
because they
like-
realized they had real case. and
It was a
they're gonna
career
be
killer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a career killer to try to go against the president of the United or a former president of the United States and not be able to nail him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
If you nailed them, that'd be awesome for your career. And speaking of building the case, Rittenhouse has apparently started some fund to sue or keep media accountable for what they do and say.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with this, but he did specifically mention 2 people. One of them was Whoopi Goldberg.
Well, he
And
does have the money to do this with.
yes. And something about CNN.
And I guarantee he's going to sue some of the other media companies that, and probably GoFundMe. I'd sue GoFundMe if I was in his situation too, because they literally shut down his defense fund, no questions asked.
Well, if it wasn't for the internet itself, he would have been strung up in the streets
Yeah.
because that's what the narrative was.
Mhm.
But a
One of
couple
the
people.
other-
What's
One
up?
of the other people is LeBron James, and he wants to go after Joe Biden.
Oh, damn. That's going to be
Joe
tough.
Biden's going to be hard to go after, but he could probably get LeBron James.
He
so.
campaigned on Rittenhouse being a white supremacist who likes to hunt black people.
Mhm.
I know, but I mean, we just saw what happened with Sarah Palin and her libel suit against the New York Times. It's so hard because of the way the libel laws are in the United States. It's so hard to get public figures on libel.
Yes.
Not public figures, no. The reason
Other way
she
around.
lost- the reason she lost is she went after news, and there is special exemptions in the First Amendment for courts have decided that there's special exemptions in the First
There you
Amendment
go. Because there aren't really.
to protect the press from libel. But if you go after the person individually and they're not attached to the news, like they're not considered a journalist, it becomes much easier, which is why he's going after individuals such as LeBron James, Whoopi Goldberg. These are very public figures, but they are definitely not journalists.
True, and not just that, but it's what Brian was saying was it's the other way around that the person who is the public figure has to help prove more that it was intentional versus if someone
It's
calls,
super
if
hard.
someone says
to
I'm a white
prove
supremacist,
that.
it's going to be easier for me to
Yeah.
get them than it would be for Joe Rogan to get them for the same thing
Yeah.
because Joe Rogan's a public figure and different rules
But
apply.
there is also a separate law that says if you're thrust into the public, you can still do it. And he was definitely thrust into the public's eye.
True, but he was thrust into the public by the people accusing him of this stuff. You can't make someone famous for doing something evil. And then when you're accused of calling him evil, say like, well, he was famous. Like, well, he wasn't famous until you accuse him of being evil.
Yes.
There's a catch-22 there that a courtroom has to be able to see. I mean, that's why we have judges, right?
Yep. I want to see how this case pans out. I really do, because this actually seems like it'd be interesting to see, and it would have ramifications for law going forward. It's just finding a judge to actually hear the case.
Yeah. Well, LeBron James had a comment, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But Whoopi Goldberg did have something to say.
Oh, good. I always love it when Whoopi has something to say. It's a little
That was a good retort right there, but
Bring up
I
the
don't think it's
volume.
gonna take her far enough.
You can hear the anger in her voice.
Oh yeah. Well, and now she's talking about Nazification again and how it's not racist. And
Well,
she
that's
sounds
why
like
Russia
she sounds like
used as a
Putin.
reason to go into Ukraine was Nazification.
Yeah, she sounds like Putin, and it's just too bad. And what's even worse is she's a public figure, and I can say these things about her, and there's really nothing she could do about it.
No.
We can honestly say that she needs to stop eating cake.
That's or at least have less at a time. You're supposed to have a piece of cake, not a cake.
Well, she's starting to resemble a darker version of a movie character that said, "I ate a baby."
Ate a baby.
Sounds
But
like an Austin Powers movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the reference.
Rittenhouse, though, he got into all that crap because of the rioting and how dangerous it was and how there's no law in the city, right? And he basically got put in a situation and then just now in New York, in a span of 24 hours, 6 people got stabbed.
Well, this was after the new mayor unveiled his new safety plan.
That's
God, I
awesome
hate that
timing.
word. I hate that word.
Safety or plan?
The safety plan term, I guess you should say. I really hate it. It's such bullshit.
Well, what's the safety plan? Arm every citizen and there'll be less people
No,
fighting each
that'll never
other?
happen in New York. They put more public safety people on the trains.
Oh my God.
What's that? What's public
Put more
safety?
cops on the trains.
Oh, cops. Okay. And I wonder if all these people getting stabbed or in relation to like, oh, he made it nice, so let's hurry up and stab people before we can't anymore.
Well, no, I mean, it's not going to work. I mean, you can't, in order to cut down on crime the right way, you basically have to put multiple cops on every single train, on every single subway, not every single car on every single subway, because just because you put one cop on the whole train, the train's usually 5-6 cars long, if they're in car number 3, they're not going to know what's happening in car 1 or car 6.
By the time they hear screaming, someone's already been stabbed.
Yeah, exactly. You literally have to put people in every single cab of every single train.
Do you know how we could do that? Yes, it's absolutely feasible. Let's issue permits to people to have guns. Because then as soon as someone starts stabbing someone, 6 people shoot him.
Not happening in New York City.
But then you'd have all the criminals dead. And that's just a travesty because these people are starving and they rob to feed their families.
That's why they're stealing Gucci bags.
Yeah, I know. I was
Kamala Harris. Oh no, AOC.
No.
That's AOC's thinking.
I was gonna say I'm channeling my inner bug-eyed retard, but I mean,
AOC said that exact same thing. That's the reason why it's happening, because they're trying to feed their families, because the earned income credit, child crack credit, got cut at the end of the year.
All right. More poor timing.
Okay.
Apparently Applebee's got a new anus tour for them after they aired a commercial on CNN during a live invasion of Ukraine with like air raids sirens going off and stuff.
CNN was running commercials during the Ukraine invasion.
Oh,
that's what I said first.
The sun came out with a little chicken fry.
Yeah, but they like minimized the window and put the commercial in there with like bombs going off and air raid siren and everything behind you. Like
apparently though,
beers and chicken.
It seems like a good ad for Applebee's. It seems like it drive up business. I'm looking at it right now. So
yeah, I think it played that song Fancy like
No, it's like another country song. Chicken.
Apparently though, the music actually synced up pretty well with the air raids, so
oh, okay, all right, it's a different country song. It would have been funny if they used that
the chicken fried song.
No, that beat, the other one,
yeah. Fancy like
fun,
Applebee's on a date night. It's hilarious.
Where were you when World War III started? Applebee's.
Yeah, I was Applebee's, living it up.
Grandpa,
No,
what
I
are you
remember-
doing? Get us some chicken fries, son.
Oh, when people ask me in many years if I survived this, where were you? Well, what were you doing when World War III started? Like, I immediately bought beer.
I was doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, oh no, as soon as I heard about this, like, I'm buying beer tonight. I was like, the world might end.
Yeah.
By the way, does a nuclear winter offset global warming?
No.
No? That's too bad. That'd have
Well,
been a
no,
nice.
it's climate change now. It's climate change now. So this would be a huge climate change.
We switched from global warming to climate change.
Yeah, because that's a fit the narrative.
Yeah, but we switched to global warming from acid rain, and we switched to acid rain from a hole in the oh no, I'm sorry, a hole in the ozone from
El Nino.
ice age. El Nino is a thing that happens every 7 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was acid rain, hole in the ozone layer, global warming, now climate change.
Now nuclear winter.
I mean, honestly, you know what's next? Seriously.
I mean, the Ukrainians did take over, or the Russians did take over Chernobyl. So
Oh yeah, we were talking about the other day. Why would take the Chernobyl?
Yeah, it's a
I
direct
think that
path to
one-
Kiev.
No, I think one of the other reasons too, they didn't want the Ukrainians, the Russians, they not want the Ukrainians to blow it up, so we create a lot of dust in the atmosphere
they're
and blow
not
it
going to
up.
blow
close
it
it.
up. It's
No,
been
no, no,
sealed
that's
off by
why.
cement, you know.
That's why they took over.
It's a
so they-
direct path to Kiev, or
That's
whatever what we're calling the capital city of Ukraine.
I hear what Ray is saying though. It's a last ditch. If we can't have it, you can't have it either, and just
Yeah.
poison
Blew it up.
everything. I get that. But I'm with Brian on this. I think Russia saw, instead of seeing it as a last ditch weapon, they saw it as a path to the capital city. Just my opinion. We all know very little of what's actually happening. You know, this war was started 6 years ago.
Probably longer than that. When was
Yeah, well-
Crimea taken?
What happened? Didn't
2014.
something happen under Bush?
2014.
Yeah, no, Obama, Crimea.
Yeah, but before that, didn't something happen under Bush too? I'm pretty
Mm.
sure Russia got involved in Ukraine under Bush, then Obama, nothing during Trump, and then immediately under Biden. Pretty sure. I might just be thinking conflicts in general.
When are we going to bring back the orange man so we can handle?
Have you seen that meme? It's like the entire world right now, and it's a big bat signal, but it's Trump in the sky.
Yes, I have. And it's orange. I love that part.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I listened. He was on the Clay and Buck show for an hour on Tuesday.
Yeah, that was
And-
everywhere.
He basically said it without saying it that he is running. So,
And he also said that this wouldn't have happened under him.
I don't think it would have.
But by the way, Clay and Buck, right? Is the name of the show.
Mhm.
I heard on 3 different podcasts talking about this interview. They called it Buck Sexton's show. And I was like, oh,
Probably
that's
because he is. It's not his show, but I mean, they both had their own shows in the past. Buck
Yeah.
Sexton was ex-CIA, and he was more political before Clay was. Clay
Is
had
Buck-
a sports show.
oh, that's cool. Is Buck Sexton the guy that's on Fox News sometimes? That was former
He
CIA?
used to be a
Yes,
CNN too.
yes, yeah.
He's the
He got
CIA
fired. He got
analysis.
banned from CNN.
Nice. So okay, so I'm surprised I don't hear more about this guy from the No Agenda show. They love talking about spooks being in media.
Mhm.
Anyway, Putin was saying that he's basically telling the Ukrainians to put down their weapons so there doesn't need to be any more bloodshed.
Right, it's not happening.
Uh.
The exact opposite's happening. They're arming everybody that wants a gun.
I've heard 18,000 automatic rifles have been handed out.
yep.
By
Talk
anyone,
about trench warfare. You know, that's what we're gonna see. You know, it's like I said on the special show, these people aren't giving up a fight. You know, they've got huge national pride about Ukraine. They're not trying to go back to the Soviet Union. they are going to fight to the death to keep their country the way it is.
Yes, but unfortunately, it's going to be their death. They're going to be killed. They're going to be overwhelmed unless they get help. Now, luckily, they are getting some help. We just gave them our third installment of like $350 million. So
Yeah,
we've
they
given
don't
them
need
over.
money. They need ammunition.
Well, no, they're using this money to purchase weapons. And if a $10,000, $15,000 rocket can take down a $35 million jet.
I mean, the Biden administration did offer him a lot of help. Besides that, they offered to evacuate the president of Ukraine out of the country.
Yeah. And he's like, we need ammunition, not
He's not leaving.
not a ride. Well, the thing is, like you said, they're gonna dig in and fight. And I've seen the videos of these guys saying goodbye to their families and putting them on buses to leave and picking up a rifle. And I think a lot of people in the world have no idea what this actually means.
No.
Yeah, most people are just like heart and prayers. We need to help the refugees, and I mean, most of these people would be leaving the country right now, and they have no idea. Like Testicles said, they have no idea. I mean, that pretty much means that these people are prepared to die.
Yeah. They really are.
Well, it's not even trench warfare. I know what you mean by that, but there's nowhere to dig trench. This is urban warfare. This is in cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they thought they were going to, the Russians thought they were going to be in the capital city already. And Ukraine blew up a bridge to stop them from getting into the capital city. Even though they're coming in from 3 different directions, they're like 20 miles away from the capital city. They thought they would have already taken it by now.
Did you hear about that Snake Island? The Snake
Yeah,
Island thing?
Yeah.
I kind of laughed because this sounds like some propaganda. You know, there's no way to prove this happened, but apparently the Russians showed up in a warship and said, you know, we're a Russian warship, surrender or die. And they said, you know, fuck you, Russia, and fired their AKs at a warship and got blown up.
Huh. No, I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that's how it went down. They might have just got blown up. You know, but propaganda happens, just like the Ghost of Kiev. You guys hear about this guy?
Oh yeah, first ace that's existed since World War II.
Yeah, well, he's supposedly flying in this big loop, only landing to refuel and get ammo. But he's flying a Cessna, I read somewhere. Is he? That's a single prop aircraft, isn't it?
Yeah.
What you're not? This guy's allegedly shot down 6 MiGs or Russian fighter jets. I'm assuming they're MiGs. How is he any? What is he? If it was a rifle, just taking down MiGs in his single prop plane? Did he mount a cannon, an automatic cannon to it? Or is this a bunch of garbage and someone took one down with a javelin missile and this hero gets credit to save hope? I don't know. It would be awesome if this guy was real.
Yeah, it would be.
Just flying around, but I just could laugh so hard watching it. Actually, he might even have a weird advantage in a prop aircraft because the jets are going so fast that they can't even figure out what's going on. They're already past them by the time they figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, but how about this one? Did anyone else hear that Russia was attacked on their own their own property by the Ukrainians?
Yeah, an air base, right?
Yep.
What happened?
I
What?
didn't hear that.
Yeah.
No, repeat that again. I didn't hear it. I didn't catch it.
Oh, here we go. It's actually the next thing on the list here.
Oh, okay.
3,500 Russian troops are killed or injured while in an attack on a Russian air base in Russia from Ukraine.
What,
Oh,
they did it
wow.
with missiles?
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. This is not the one I'm looking at. This is how many they've killed at all.
Oh, okay.
Altogether.
Sorry. There is. I did read what Clay was saying though. Apparently, they attacked a Russian air base that's in Russia.
Yep.
Wow.
My
Must
mistake.
have
I thought I
with
had
missiles.
numbers. Yeah, of course they got me. We've given them over $1 billion to buy weapons with. What do you think they're buying with it? They're not buying freaking 30-06 rounds. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and Claire said this on the Thursday show that, you know, that Ukraine had been building up their defense systems for years. You know, every little dime they got, they spent it on defense. Because
Yes.
they foreseen that this was going to happen sooner or later. You know, they didn't know exactly when, but they knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Even though I
what's
wish
it-
they would have knew it was going to happen when they still had nuclear weapons, and they would have
They-
kept their nuclear weapons.
They did know it was going to happen when they had nuclear weapons, and the West told them that they would be protected if they.
And I heard
took-
an interview with the Ukrainian president saying, "Do you regret giving up your nukes?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I regret giving up my nukes."
mutually assured destruction.
Exactly.
Now, here's the question: if Putin's in a situation where he can absolutely not win, and the entire world actually united against him and his whatever allies, do you think he would last ditch nuke the world to just say
No.
F all of you? Or
In a heartbeat, in a
I
heartbeat.
don't think so.
because realistically, all you need to do is get every nuclear nation together and tell Russia to stop now. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not going to get North Korea, but I don't trust their bomb to go off reliably anyway.
Right.
I mean, you get India. I don't want to go through the list, but I mean, even if you just get Eastern Europe, most of mainland Europe united. Russia couldn't fight them all at once.
Who in mainland Europe has nuclear weapons?
The French
Nobody.
probably.
Yeah, the French I thought were nuclear,
Yeah,
or they just have nuclear power.
Yeah,
think
and
they
the
just
French
got
and
nuclear power.
the British.
British
Yeah.
don't have it.
I think they
They
do. I
have
think the
nuclear
British and the
powers.
French do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the
Okay.
French do. I know India does. Pakistan does.
I may think Italy too, but I don't know.
No, I don't think Italy does.
But they're really
Because
advanced
North Korea
too.
was the most recent one to test one. Actually, we talked about that in depth because everyone was saying, well, they don't have a way to deliver it. It's like they don't need to launch, put this thing in orbit. Like when the last time one was deployed, it was dropped out of a plane flying overhead, you know?
Okay. The top 5 list. of
Russia, United
nuclear-
States, China.
Nope, it goes United States, Russia, believe it or not. Well, Russia
Yes.
actually has more.
France.
The United Kingdom, France, China, then India, Pakistan, North Korea,
Israelis.
and
Yeah.
Israel. Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot about Israel.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and Pakistan and India too, man. They're going at it sometimes.
Yeah, but that's actually why they both have nuclear weapons. It's the same reason why the United States and Russia built up such an arsenal, was mutually assured destruction if it got out of control.
Yeah.
And then countries with nuclear weapons sharing is Belgium, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Turkey.
And basically that means we have missiles located there.
Yep.
Yes.
And I thought I put a link on the document about Israel. They are extremely not happy with the Biden administration pursuing to reinstate the Iranian nuclear deal. It looks like Iran's going to agree to a deal, but nothing's going to change from the Obama deal, including the
good.
timeline.
Yes. They don't even have to not even necessarily start over, but pause with the time that, you know what I mean, that was supposed to be developing energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize this actually authorizes these people to build nuclear weapons after a certain timer clicks down to 0.
Yep.
And the rest of the world's gonna be like, okay, it's okay for you to do this. And that just the number one funding group in the world of
For
terrorism,
terrorism.
right?
Yep.
What the hell?
I honestly think that America, Biden and older politicians have this view of Iran that hasn't existed since the 1960s.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I think when it comes right down to it, I think Israel will stand alone. And if they have to nuke the hell out of Iran, they'll do it.
And then just say we'll see what happens.
Yep. Yep. Because they're the ones that are closest to the fight. They're the ones that are like in the thick of it.
Are
If
you
Iran
sure?
goes nuclear, they're right there. You know, Iran's nuclear weapons are going to go straight to Israel.
I don't know about that. I think it's a whole bunch of rich white celebrities in the United States that live in like Miami Beach and Hollywood, Martha's Vineyard, singing Imagine by yeah,
Prevent World
that
War
that
Four.
are closest to the fight that are going to stop conflict from happening. Because obviously Putin is going to be swayed by
Uh-huh.
by Matthew McConaughey singing, you know, John Lennon's Imagine. I don't know if McConaughey did or not. I just
yeah, I know what you're saying. You're just
So Ukraine capital to the border of what's the northern
Belarus.
it's on the eastern
Belarus.
side of the country.
Yeah,
It's
that is
closest to Russia.
4-hour drive, 240
From-
kilometers.
From
Yeah,
Russia.
like right through
Like
Chernobyl.
Belarus, Chernobyl, all the way to
Okay.
the capital is only 4-hour drive.
Yeah, exactly. That's
It's not a
exactly
very
what I was
big
saying.
It's,
I think
how many days so far? They haven't reached to the capital yet. 3 days.
Well,
Well-
that's the reason why the U.S. evacuated the embassy in the capital city and moved them to a consulate on the West Coast, the western side of the country. They didn't leave they evacuated all the non-essential personnel, but the essential personnel, they just shifted to closer to NATO allies.
well, and again, we alone have given them over $1 billion for weapons and such. I don't know who else is giving them money. And granted, they bought a lot of rifles and a lot of ammo for those rifles to hand out. But you know, they also bought real weapons for their actual military, right?
Yeah.
Like javelin missiles and like, you know, shoulder fired missiles to take out, like it's a $10,000 missile, but you might take out a $35 million aircraft. You know, an RPG can take down a tank, and that's a $5,000 round.
Well, NATO's taking this thing seriously.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I think NATO's
Well,
gonna
they've activated the rapid response force for the first time ever.
very
How long
true.
it took them? How long it took them to get her prepare?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Was how long would it take if this was actually a NATO ally?
We would have already been there.
Like, this is what you don't depend on other countries do. You self-defense. Because shit like this.
Well, this is what makes me think Trump was right when it came to these other countries not paying for what they were supposed to pay into the NATO group and the NATO
And they got
alliance.
all this socialist program because they can afford it.
Well, socialist programs, and they're like Germany wasn't paying into NATO what they were supposed to, but instead they were signing deals with Russia for oil, and it's like those are the very people. It's like do realize
no European countries were paying into NATO what they're supposed to pay in.
no,
They're supposed to pay in a certain amount of their GDP,
2%.
and they weren't even paying anywhere close to that.
no, and yeah, and they're making deals with Russia, and it's like the whole point of this is to keep them at
And they're
bay.
building up their social networks, you know, rather than looking for their defense of their countries. They were like creating great social networks, you know, where you work 4 days a week, you got, you know, 4 weeks off in the summertime, you know.
Some countries you can retire early.
Tinder, a TikTok video counts as basic training.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Russian, you see the recruiting videos for Russia versus the United States?
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. It actually makes me concerned for America.
Yeah, like guy like jumps out of a plane or whatever, and he's looking down the sight and you see the bullet rip out the barrel and like the pupil dilates. Like, oh, that's a crazy video. And then it's a cartoon of this non-binary star fruit.
Hold on. We got to get the token to do this.
Oh,
El
sure.
Guapo,
What's that?
would you like to take the lead on this Army commercial?
We have the video.
No,
I
don't.
just watched it a couple minutes ago too.
I've seen it, and it is
I haven't seen it.
it's an activist talking about her lesbian moms and a gay dude with a very bad lisp and a limper wrist than I can't come up with a
Liberace.
yeah, Liberace. And yeah, it's just all the kind of cringe things that
Not the
It-
first thing you think of when you think of strong defense and being afraid of them.
no,
like honestly, like why they market to those people? The people don't want to be joined the military. They don't want to be told what to do.
That's not necessarily true.
Or like really, you think
They
they
wanna
really
get-
want to be?
But your job in the service is to learn how to fight a war, not diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Not anymore.
but
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely horrible. Like literally defend our activism. Like, oh my God, could you people be any gayer?
Well, what are we
You
doing
get-
pulling our border patrol off of our border to put it on the border with Poland and
'Cause we
Lithuania?
need people that are actually good at fucking their job. Jeez.
Well,
I
no,
hadn't
but why
heard
do we?
that. I thought it was we were moving our army to Poland.
No,
No,
our
it's
border
border
patrol from
patrol.
the southern border. It's like, why are we sending these guys and not the army? And Biden's like, oh, we gotta get rid of border patrol. All right, that's what they said. You know,
I tried to find something about it, but I cannot find nothing about it, dude. Like on the news, and even talking about that.
It's very few people are actually talking about it. I think it's because the Army needs more inclusivity and diversity training on trans, attack helicopters.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about the border patrol, like them being sent to Portland.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The Army
Oh,
needs
okay.
more training, which is why they're having to send the border patrol because
Right.
there's a fruitcake on the airfield going hover, 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 and now everyone needs to be trained on what that is.
Mm.
I am so glad I didn't have to sit through that training. Uh,
Well, Lithuania has closed its airspace to Russian airlines,
Mm.
yeah,
ending direct flights to Kaliningrad.
Kaliningrad. I think
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
yeah, I know, and no one's ever heard of this place, but it's a little tiny like patch of Russia in Eastern Europe. Like think of it as like Guam or Puerto Rico. It's
Okay.
Apparently, it's heavily militarized.
that's the only reason it exists. And yeah, Lithuania won't let Russian flights go overhead, and that's the quickest way to get to Kaliningrad. But realistically, these flights can just take an extra like 2 hours and go over the Black Sea and get there anyway. I just thought it was interesting because I didn't. Lithuania picked a side, and I think that's a mistake.
Always.
Well, don't show your hand until it's time, right?
Yeah, because now they're next for we stand with you to oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, crap. By the way, we could end this war immediately. All we have to do is all we have to do is publish all of the dirt that Putin has on Hillary Clinton, and then
Doesn't have any dirt
Putin.
on her.
Well, Putin will then hang himself. Yeah.
Why do you think Chelsea Clinton should be Chelsea Putin?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, he'll hang himself, then shoot himself in the back of the head, and then bury himself in his backyard.
He'll be shamed because he had sex with that.
Well, the president followed through on his promise to nominate a black female to the Supreme Court.
All right. Whatever. Every time they do the Supreme Court thing, I do not follow federal judges close enough to have any idea who's a good nominee.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is just way too much for me to even give a shit to try to follow.
Well, my big gripe with it is you're eliminating 99% of the possible nominees by saying black female. It's just like he did with the vice president. He's got to have a vice president that's African American. How did that work out for him?
Got him elected president.
This nominee is going to have an asterisk next to her name forever.
A diversity hire.
There is no proof that she is the best for the job. She she got nominated because she fit the Biden criteria.
Well, that's what we said right away when he brought this up. It's like, now, no matter what, I'm sure just to be on the list, to be able to be nominated for this job
Mhm.
means this woman is exceptional. I'm certain of this.
There's not that much. You know how
She's got a lot of
judge-
flip flopping in her judgments.
I'm just
She was
saying
a
that-
public defender, so he's all excited about that. She'll be
I'm
the
just saying
first person that's ever been a public defender on the Supreme Court.
That's interesting. But I'm just saying she must be a big deal to even be on the list to be offered the job or
She was
suggested
in
anyway.
she was in the farm court. She was in the DC appeals court,
Okay.
where a lot of people get nominated from.
Well, and now though, she worked how hard, went to how much school to get to this position to even be on the list. And now there's automatically a smudge,
Yep.
an asterisk, even in her head, saying, I don't know, did I get it only because of this? Like, or not only because there was that, did that
I have
put me
no
above someone
issue
else
with
because
her
of
actual
this?
nomination. I have an issue with the president narrowing down the nomination from the get-go.
I have an
If
issue
he
with her
would've-
name. How
if
do you
he-
pronounce that?
If he would have just said, I'm going to nominate these group of people out of this group of people, and if she was the nominee, there'd be no issue.
But that's
It's the fact that he narrowed it down from the get-go that everybody has an issue with.
exactly. Had you not said this, and then it was a black woman anyway, awesome. You could have still got credit for it.
Yeah. But he wants the credit from the get-go, saying, "Oh, I'm going to nominate a black female to the first ever to the Supreme Court."
Honestly, she's got good credentials. I mean, I'm looking at her credentials right now.
Well, she's not gonna get nominated till next year because already what's his face? Joe Manchin says he's not gonna vote on it until after the election.
What? I hadn't heard that.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm gonna keep it consistent. I'm not gonna vote a nominee after the election, the midterm election.
I didn't mean to put that thing there in the Google Doc. That was supposed to be somewhere else. My bad.
What Joe
Well,
Manchin?
The judge
if
thing.
if
Oh,
he
yeah.
doesn't vote, for it now, they may not have control to pull her off. I mean, they could lose the majority in the Senate in the midterms.
Yeah, if they're, but
They gotta
yeah,
pull her off.
we'll
Say-
see. We'll see. I
Tell you
mean,
what,
I
Brian,
don't
you can
think.
pull me off.
I am reading some of her rulings, and she is.
Flip flopping.
She's also seems very politically left, which doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me.
Well, that's
Obviously.
fine because it's not going to change the diversity of the court. It's still
Yeah.
6-3.
I don't like that we describe the court that way.
Well,
Oh,
We
that's the-
described this court for decades before being a liberal court.
No, I just don't like that we say 6-3 or 5. You know what I mean? I don't know, just we shouldn't be looking at the Supreme Court as a political machine because it's supposed to be separate from the politics. That's the whole point of it.
The Democrats are the one that started like 50-50 vote on it. So keep it
That was a mistake.
60 vote. Mm-hmm.
I,
And they
I,
paid for it.
I still do not know how to pronounce this woman's first name.
Not Katinji or something like that. Kitani.
Yeah.
Kitaji, Judge Kitaji Brown. Kitaji.
I'm not even going to attempt it for the fear that somebody's going to call me a racist because I butchered it so badly.
I thought you didn't care about that no more.
I don't care about it.
That's how this was supposed to work. That I was supposed to slip into the
Oh, you
Russia
take the
thing with
place.
this. I was supposed to slip into Russia through that because then it was going to go and have this dude Battenfeld. I've never even heard of the guy, but apparently he's big deal. Was saying how Biden's not going to be able to hide his inability to handle Russia and Ukraine by with his diversity hires.
I
I
don't
thought
think
that's-
Russia really cares about diversity hires.
No, it makes me wonder if Russia planted these seeds 20 years ago. So that our military would be recruiting people by talking about our sexuality and our parents' sexuality and our sexual identity instead of how to kill people and defend the homeland.
I will say what I first did when I started coming on this show many, many years ago. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're anything. I just want the most sick, sociopathic motherfuckers on the front line, period. End of sentence. I want guys that laugh and screw the corpses of their enemies because it does psychological damage to the enemy's friends.
Yeah,
I
but then
want-
then the people that survive come home, and then the rest of us have to deal with that, and that's a mess. Like once you fuck the eyeball hole of a corpse, then drink wine out of that same skull, you're never the same again.
No, but you
I
know
mean, you might
enemy,
even start a podcast.
but your enemy will still have like nightmares about it for the rest of eternity.
By the way, that the wine out of a human skull always salty, no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what you do.
No matter what you do, you can rub sugar on the inside of that skull, still gonna be salty. Sickos do that kind of stuff. Monsters. We can't have them living amongst us on podcasts.
And you know what?
What do you think about the recession alarm that's going off?
What do you mean my portfolio just flipping upside down?
Everybody's portfolio.
Yeah, the alarm. Like they had to sound an alarm. Like people didn't notice this.
I mean, didn't Obama preside over the last recession we had?
This is what drives me nuts about Democrat voters, though. Is no, they have such short-term memories. Like, they complain about this, like, oh, you know, what was the last time this happened? It's like Obama.
Yep.
And then they're like, what? And you point stuff out, like, oh, yeah. Or what about
Well,
before
it
that? It's like Clinton. Well, actually, not Clinton at all. Clinton was
Well,
good.
no. Then they used to say, well, it's all Bush's fault. Actually, no. It was Bill Clinton that created the housing bubble by allowing people to get homes through
That couldn't
government-
afford it.
Yep.
Which created, yeah, exactly. Which created an artificial boom, which came crashing down.
Yep. So Bill Clinton started it. Bush did nothing to fix it. Obama let it happen. Trump fixed it. Now we're back to President Biden, who is just making things worse.
Well, I love how after Russia did stuff, because we were going to give them sanctions, and after Russia actually did something, did you see what sanctions Biden put in place?
Yeah.
Sanctions are useless. They're not going to do shit.
They're the same ones that he had lifted when he took office that Trump had put in place.
Yeah,
Like the Nord Stream pipeline.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think we should do and can do is just bomb him back into the Stone Age at this point, because it's the only language he's going to understand.
Well, the
Like-
problem is you need an absolute overwhelming force to show up and say, we will do this first. Because right now everyone's got their thumbs up their asses and no one knows what to do. They just booted him from the SWIFT thing
Is it
today.
official? I heard that there was European countries that did not want to do that.
Yeah, from what I understand, they kicked him out of like 3 of the 4 international banks or something.
Okay.
I thought I had it in here somewhere. I don't know how I missed the list. Oh well.
Yeah, I know Germany didn't want to do it because they buy a lot of Russian.
Oil.
That was the point I made about Germany wasn't paying into this NATO alliance. Instead, they were using that money to set up an agreement and build a pipeline to Russia for oil. It's like, so wait a minute, you're saying that instead of paying into your national defense, you're going to make sure that Russia can shut off and kill all of your people by closing a valve. They should have been kicked out immediately.
Mm.
Well,
And
Germany-
why are we buying petroleum? We getting 7% of our petroleum from Russia, 3% of our crude oil from Russia. We were a net exporter of crude of oil products under Trump.
Well, that was, I mean, and it was going to grow if the Keystone Pipeline was allowed to go through.
True, that was Canadian oil, but I would still rather buy and natural gas. I'd rather buy it from Canada than Russia.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, just the idea of shutting down the pipeline blows my mind. Oh, it's dirty. So instead, we're going to let Russia mine this stuff across the planet with their dirty equipment that's not up to our standards,
And
they-
ship it.
and
in
ship it
ships.
in a shipping container. Yeah,
Yeah,
then put it on a truck.
that's so much cleaner.
Yeah, it's like this. You're actually making it grosser, but you feel better about yourself. You're virtue signaling, like, oh, we're so clean over here. It's like, no, you're plugging an electric car into a coal plant. You know?
Well, speaking of the Keystone Pipeline, the GOP is asking Biden to reopen it so we're not dependent on international oil.
See how I seemed like I ranted a lot, but I managed to tie in.
Yep.
But I'm going to use their excuse because I used to live out in California and I heard this excuse a lot. But what about wind and solar and renewables?
What if it's
Yeah,
cloudy?
that's great when you got actual wind and you got actual sun, you know.
Well, you guys are forgetting one key factor about wind and solar that makes it completely inviable, right? No, non-viable. And it's not just the fact that it's not windy or it's not cloudy.
Talk about
There's
how
one
those
key
giant
component missing.
windmill turbines never ever decompose, and there's a desert full of them.
They kill a lot of birds.
That's true too.
The battery technology to store the energy created.
We're
It's
getting a
not.
lot better about that, actually. Elon Musk has done some amazing things with batteries.
I know, but the battery technology is not ready for that kind
No,
of.
and it's not. And a lot of and it's so expensive that everybody that's getting the solar technology installed on their roofs thinking they're going to save $1 million.
No, the whole cylinder thing was a giant hoax.
But when the power grid goes down, even if you got solar, you don't got power. You don't have a battery backup system in place that's storing the energy. The power goes out, you're fucked.
That's something people don't realize. They think there's having these panels in your house, your lights will come on. It's like, no, it takes hours to charge up to operate something, and then you have to wait for your battery to charge again.
My brother spent the money and put solar panels on his roof, and basically what he's saving in energy, he's paying to the solar panel company to pay for the solar panels. And he did not put a battery backup system in place.
So he's just being used for energy.
Yeah, for cheap energy. He's being used as a solar farm.
But he's not, because I don't think they do that in Virginia. I don't think you sell it back to the power company in Virginia.
That's assuming you're making more power than you use anyway. And you're obviously not if you're not storing any of it.
Right.
I've heard of people using like yacht batteries to actually make battery storage facilities for their home, but
well, what about some kind of capacitor, a series of capacitor system? How well?
I was going to say we're getting off topic.
Yeah, I know. I was just curious how well your electrical knowledge is, because a series of capacitors that build charge then release it as called upon is almost like a battery, but not really.
Yeah,
capacitor is what you use in your car, for example, if you have a base system set up to keep your headlights from dimming.
Flux capacitor.
Same idea.
I didn't think capacitors were good at relic.
There's a new battery jumper that doesn't got a battery on it. It's just a bunch of capacitors, and whatever voltage you get out of that battery is going to recycle. It's going to build it up, and you can start your vehicle.
Yeah, and you get one burst of energy from the. Yeah, that's exactly. That's why people use them in their car stereo systems. Is it builds up a charge, and then when your base note hits, it dumps the charge to fuel the amplifier, and your headlights don't dim because it's eating up your battery, your alternator energy. And
I was thinking about one because you never have to worry about you just nothing, like it's so light, it's capacitor, so
depending on what you
don't have to charge it never.
No, well, it charges because it's an inline system.
Like whatever battery juice you got left on your battery, you just connect it and it's gonna start recycle.
A capacitor is basically a bladder
Mhm.
of electricity.
Yeah, but it's not good at it's not good at how do I put it? It's not good at trickling out the energy. It's good for bursts.
Yes.
But
Anyways,
let's
moving
get
on.
back to topic. Yep.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Well okay. Well,
Millennium Tower. I know you got the same topic from where I first learned about it from the
Probably
No
is it-
Agenda show.
oh no, I actually did not listen to the new No Agenda show.
But no, this topic has been brought up on that show previously. This
Oh,
is close to where Adam Curry lived when he lived in San Francisco years ago. And this is not a new problem. This problem is a structural problem from the get-go.
oh, I assumed. Yeah, it's been moving a couple inches or so many degrees a year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I did it wrong.
Explain it to somebody who didn't read this article.
The
I'm sorry.
foundation is sinking on one side of this. It's not like it's like a 50-story building that's tilting a little bit. It's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's moving every year. The foundation is not stable.
Well, no,
And
I
to
mean,
try to figure out ways to stabilize the and the another issue is these aren't cheap, no income housing here. These are millionaires that have bought apartments in this place. That the building is tilting and tilting and tilting more and more every year.
Yeah,
doesn't surprise
it's
me
the
in
same
San
problem as
Francisco.
Pisa.
We
Yes.
got a new Pisa Tower in the west.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been doing it for a while. But yeah, apparently it's within an inch of the building next to it now at a point. That could be an issue.
It's not the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's the Leaning Tower of Hey.
That was good. I like that.
Now, okay, this gives away the punchline, but what do gay horses eat?
Hey.
What do lesbian horses eat?
Oh God.
Hey,
I like that one. I heard it before, but I totally forgot about it.
and there's our third strike, folks. We've been banned from everything now.
Right.
I need one of those the old test pattern from TV with like the old like native chief with a headdress on and you know the bars like boo.
Hey, did Brian left already?
He's probably draining the illicit or slapping the salami or lubing the tubing or something.
Probably get his own. Hey.
And this okay, Brian had this in here. It's funny because I read the same article, but I saw the same thing with this kid who had his legs cut off and pieces of all of his fingers after eating some like bad leftover Chinese food.
What?
Yeah, well, it turns out this is like an old story. It just got recirculated again because someone made a video about it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But he ate some bad noodles and it some kind of weird toxin was in it that made him it was lo mein that made his blood vessels die. Not die, like contract. So his heart was beating like 166 beats a minute. Yeah, and the organ failure was happening because he wasn't carrying blood to his organs, and within hours, he had his legs were changing colors, and he was dealing with necrosis and gangrene. Lost both of his legs at his knees and pieces of all of his fingers from eating some weird contaminated food. That's just
No, you scare me. You talk about Chinese food. Just had Chinese food today. Like fuck. Why not? You talk about his old story. Like yeah, okay.
oh, thank God, it's not where I got food.
Yeah, like fuck.
I think Brian has taken off on us.
Yeah, he got pissed off.
Yeah, I thought he was just gonna like.
Oh no, there he is.
What? Oh no, he's got we're merging for the
That
green
was
screen.
weird, huh?
I know.
Well,
I guess.
I'm gonna actually have to go. I need to rest.
Oh, actually, you know what? I was just getting ready to do our outro.
Oh, okay.
I think I actually closed out my special music though.
Wait, he's coming back. No, he left.
Oh, no.
That's
Did
all
you
right
miss him,
because so Brian can come back. Don't matter because that we've covered our topics. We are moving the COVID stuff to Tuesday, which is against our policy, but we wanted to talk about what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. I don't know. You guys got anything you want to put up before we're done?
No.
Yeah. Keep your arms. You never know when you're gonna get invaded.
Yeah, this is a good argument for keeping your guns.
More
Was
than
it
30 rounds.
Yeah, what was the Occupy Democrats did they had the tweet about 6 years ago. Anyone who thinks they need whatever mental gymnastics you did to need an AR-15, you're stupid. And then they just came out celebrating automatic rifles being handed out to citizens for free.
Time to repeal 1985 laws.
Yeah, because ARs are not automatic. Anyway, that's our shit. Let's cut it.
All right.